Welcome back to the show, folks. I'm your faithful host, Mr. Jack Christie. Listen, today we're going to be talking about my 5 favourite golf courses in the world. This is the stuff that I've been waiting for. The golf content, the best golf content, the best golf courses in the world. I've played in Australia, I've played in New Zealand, I've played in America, some parts of Europe, and of course in Scotland. And I want to share the best ones that I've played, that I've been fortunate enough to play, and a little bit of stories along the way. These courses have shaped me. They've made me a better player, a better golfer, and ultimately a better person. Number 5, and it's potentially a little bit of recency bias, and this is Royal Dornoch Golf Club. Sitting in the far north of Scotland, Royal Dornoch feels like it's at the edge of Scotland, potentially the edge of the world. And maybe that is part of its magic. It was founded in 1877, as you probably already know, these golf fans, and there's been golf actually played there since the early 1600s, 1616, via the church monks that moved from there and had a connection between St Andrews and Dornoch itself in the north. Donald Ross, famous golf architect of the 20th century, who later designed one of my letter courses in America, actually grew up here in Dornoch, was a youngster, played on the golf course, learned his trade, went to St Andrews for a couple of years and then came back and actually redesigned the parts of the golf course into some little aspects of what we know to today. Dornoch has shaped modern golf and golf architecture, and Donald Ross then moved to America and became the father of American golf. So his spirit leaps throughout the whole golf course, throughout the whole town, and it's a little bit magical, it's mystical. And I can see why Americans love coming up to it, because there's a little essence of both a pilgrimage obviously to St Andrews for the home of golf, but also there's a sort of pilgrimage to Dornoch itself for the home of Donald Ross, the home of American golf, or the home of the father of American golf. Dornoch is special. The particular viewpoints on the golf course, you've got the third tee when you do the first 2. The second hole is potentially the hardest par 3 in golf. It's famed, not only the second, but a lot of the holes throughout the golf course for its turtle back greens. Everything that shades off it or falls off it, so it's real importance of good iron play onto the middles of the green. Third tee, once you've got from the second green of major 8, as I did my first time I ever played it, you walk onto the third tee and you can look north and you can see beautiful views all the way up East Sutherland. You see Dunrobin Castle, Brora, as far up as Leibster, or Leibster if you want for a better word. On a beautiful day you can see over to Tarbet Ness Lighthouse, and yeah, on a calm day when the sun's shining, there is nothing better than the third tee, apart from the 7th tee. Now that stretch 3, 4, 5 is a phenomenal short little par 4. And then you've got the 6th, which yet again, another very tricky par 3. Only about 150 yards, but massive fall off to the right hand side. And yeah, the Dornoch maybe has the strongest set of par 3s in the whole of the world. They're all phenomenal. The 2nd, the 6th, the 10th, and then we have the 13th as well. So yeah, that stretch there is probably the best on the golf course, 3 through 6, but when you get to the 7th, you have to climb up to the 7th, you can look back south, and you can, if you're at the right time of year early on, the gorse bushes will be in full floral display of bright yellow, so it's fantastic, that bit. And then get out to the 9th tee is the furthest point, and you sort of come back on the seaside of the golf course, and my favourite spot is the 16th green. And the reason being is every morning when I've been up there teaching, I've made a walk from my flat or property where I've been staying, and I've walked out to the 16th green. It's only about 5-10 minute walk, but I don't know, there's just a little specialty or specialness about sitting on that little bench beside the 16th green, looking south along the Dornoch beach over to Tarbert Ness Lighthouse and parts of Cromarty, and the Dornoch Firth. You can see west up the Dornoch Estuary. You can see parts of the town. That's been a special walk for me, just on both first things in the morning, but also in the evenings as well if I've went out for a bit of fresh air. Dornoch has a special place in my heart, and part of that is Royal Dornoch Golf Club. The course is phenomenal. I highly encourage you to go up to it. And this is the calibre that I'm setting for the rest of this video. So, moving over to number 4, Royal Aberdeen. Royal Aberdeen was founded in 1780. It's one of the oldest golf clubs in the world. It's famous for having what's called the best front nine in golf, weaving through the towering dunes of the North Sea, going north towards Cruden Bay and Peterhead, before on the back nine turning inland on the top side for a sort of tougher and into usually the prevailing wind. My favourite spots on this golf course is the first tee. You're standing at right beside of the front of the clubhouse, and you can see all of Aberdeen, which has a special place in my heart because I went to university there. And a lot of my family, including my parents, are from Aberdeen, and I've been a forced supporter since birth of, my friends will already know this, of Aberdeen Football Club. So being at Royal Aberdeen, in fact, for my university golf, actually was the first big golf club and golf course I actually ever played. I can remember vividly the sensations of going through the front gates where it's in Royal Aberdeen Golf Club at the front, feeling like you were in the busy city centre, and then all of a sudden, silence, and all you can see is the massive clubhouse up at the top of the hill. White, as opposed to the rest of Aberdeen, is granite. Going up to that, into the clubhouse, feeling special as you walk through the front door, and if you walked round to the front of it, just all of a sudden, this massive view from the first tee. You can see all of Aberdeen south towards the harbour at Nig Bay. If you're an Aberdeen football fan, you can see Pittodrie Stadium, Kings Links, Cadonas, River Don right beside it. To far north, you can see all the boats out in the North Sea for the oil rigs that are parked there. Nowadays, there's the wind turbines in the distance, the big 11 of them, all the way as far north as the power station tower you can see at Peterhead, which is about 30 to 35 miles north. It is a massive, expansive view, and if you get it on a flat calm morning like Dornoch as well, one of the best views in golf. And all of a sudden you can just look down, you can see the first, there's 3 massive bunkers in this tight little 400-yard par 4 fairway, and then you can see the green, sort of horizon green, just perched up what looks like in the sea. It's one of great opening holes in golf, and yeah, once you hopefully par that, you're then on through 7 through 9, maybe the best stretch of golf links-wise in the world, and standing up in the towering dunes, playing down in between them where the fairway is, feeling this massive tiny fairways. I said massive and tiny there, I mean just tiny fairways. It made me scared of golf, of trying to plot around the golf course, and actually it's one of the most challenging golf courses that I've ever played, and I always cannot believe why it's always underrated. I think it's the most underrated golf course in the world, and it just puts a smile on my face every time I play it. Favourite spots: first tee, second tee, the third tee, the fourth tee. However, unfortunately in the last few years, due to coastal erosion, they've lost the third and fourth tee. And one of my favourite spots, and I've got a photo of where I play golf with my dad, the ninth tee. Big dogleg right, it's one of the best par 4s in golf. Massive bunkers all the way up the fairway. You can see the fairway curve round up to the green at the top, up to the far north end of the property, and then yeah, you're coming back usually into a 2 or 3 club wind, and it's sort of hell for leather. Hold on to your skates for the back nine. Number 3, we're getting closer now. This is my only one in the Southern Hemisphere, and this is, and I still can't believe it because it puts a smile on my face every time I say, Royal Melbourne Golf Club. Over 10,000 miles from Scotland lies Royal Melbourne, the crown jewel of what's known as the stretch of land in the Melbourne area and the southeastern suburbs, the Australian Sandbelt. It was designed by an Englishman, Dr. Alistair Mackenzie, in the 1920s, the same man who actually co-designed Augusta National. It's maybe one of the best masterclasses in natural design. Massive wide fairways that are very generous, but the turf is firm and the greens are fast. As Tiger has once said, Royal Melbourne is the best of both worlds. You've got St Andrews fairways with Augusta greens, and those trademark sandbelt bunkers look like they've been carved out by nature or God himself. But for me, Royal Melbourne is much more than just the architecture of the golf. I've never felt more at home, but not being at home. It's warmth in the clubhouse, all the staff were amazing, it was a beautiful day, the atmosphere is incredible, it's one of the best clubhouses I've ever been in, the range was fantastic. I remember sitting at the piano, playing away, watching the TV on Monday, on Master Sunday 2024, when Scotty Scheffler won. I was playing the piano in Royal Melbourne when he was putting in the winning putt. It was unreal to see and unreal to feel. Very historic club. Two beautiful courses, East course, which I played on the Monday, and the West course, which I played on the Tuesday. Sun was pouring in, the air felt just unreal, and yeah, it felt like golfing heaven. The course itself actually isn't that hard, but it's just tactically genius. You can play it every day and never get bored, and it feels like no matter how many times you play it, it would feel like a different golf course. It's strategic, even though wide fairways, it's playful but fair, and I felt, as I said, completely at home there, and I wish and pray that I'll be able to play that again. Number 2, Pinehurst number 2. In 2022, with two of my friends, went over to Pinehurst, and maybe one of the biggest mindset changes happened to me on this golf course. Cue the B-roll. In North Carolina is Donald Ross's masterpiece, and where he ended up living for the majority of the rest of his life. It opened in 1907, and it's hosted multiple US Opens, most recently in 2024 when Bryson DeChambeau won. And it's known as going to be one of the host anchor sites for the US Open in the future. It's a course that doesn't rely on rough, or not that much rough, because it's very much like Royal Melbourne. It's this sort of sand belt that is known as the Sand Hills. But the most thing it's famous for is those turtleback greens. As I mentioned at Dornoch, the turtleback greens falling off every side makes it really, really, really tricky. And it seems to repel anything less than just perfection. I can remember on the 4th hole, I have pumped a drive straight down the middle. My friend Michael is in the right, almost in the bunker. He hits a hybrid and it looks perfect. I hit a 7-iron, it looks absolutely perfect. And then every previous hole, I'd hit the front of the green and it rolled back. This one looked absolute money. It hit the top, checked unbelievably, and scooted all the way back. It felt like I couldn't catch a break. And the same thing happened on the 5th, the same thing happened on the 6th. Now, for those golf lovers, you'll understand that the first 6 holes are probably the hardest stretch on that golf course. I was on my knees after that shot on the 4th, and I was like, I can't catch a break. Why? I'm now even hitting good shots and it's not working. And I got to the 6th, yet again, decent shot, ever so slightly moved and rolled off, and I was like, oh, I can't catch a break. And one of my friends, he said to me, you know what can't catch a break? Your attitude. Look around, you're at Pinehurst on your October holidays, golfing with your mates, it's beautiful weather, lighten up man, it's going to be hard. And from that moment, I just was like, yeah, wow, I'd got myself cocooned. I was trying to play into this fairway. I was trying to keep it out of all the trouble at this really tough golf course. And yeah, it humbled me. Gordo, thank you very much for that. It really humbled me, and I realised I was in this locked or fixed mindset about the whole thing. I wasn't swinging freely. And it took me about 6 holes to get out of that, and weirdly, it took me to get a par on the 12th or 13th hole, and from then on in, I was 1 over for the rest of the round, and birdied the 16th. It's a par 4 for the pros, but it's par 5 for the members and visitors. I had a really good shot on the 17th, and a really good up and down on the 18th for par. I mean, I didn't score well, primarily because of those first 6 holes or 12 holes, but that moment, that ability to understand through the change of attitudes, through the change of mindset, made me feel like, wait a minute, it doesn't matter what the golf course is, your main purpose here is to have fun, no matter how challenging this golf course is. Because if you actually think of it, golf is made up. Once you realise it's all invented, then you can write a better story for yourself as to why you're doing this in the first place. And why are we all doing this? Because we love the game. And once I understood that after the 6th tee, and after the next 6 holes of trying to get out of that, I was there to have fun. I wasn't there to score a good score. Of course I'm there to want to do that, but if it didn't do that, it doesn't matter. And that lesson, you can apply that into the rest of your life in different aspects. And from that moment, that's why Pinehurst, number 2. And Pinehurst is a village. Big shout out to Lisa's, by the way. That's why Pinehurst is important to me. And that's why it's in my number 2. Finally, number 1. Number 1, it's got to be, it's the best. I know it's quite controversial for some others, local to me, but there is no question what number 1 is. It's the Old Course at St Andrews. It's the home of golf. You can't really explain anything else. It's the place where it all began. Golf has been played here since the 15th century, and every blade of grass seems to whisper history. The fairways crisscross, the bunkers are wild, they're all over the place. The greens, some of them are massive, pretty much all of them are massive. It's completely unique, and no other golf course is like this in the world, but yet this was the first one. And yeah, it's chaotic, but fundamentally it feels human. And it feels like completely natural, like God or the universe has laid this all together. It is nuts, and it's magic. For those who don't know, I was brought up in Dundee, or just outside Dundee. And on a Sunday, family, we would go on a day trip to St Andrews. We would go to the beach, we would go and have a little bacon roll and chips at the beach and have a walk. And we would always park at the Links Clubhouse beside the Old Course. And we would just walk into town, and you would just cross over the first tee, up the steps at the R&A, and you'd walk into town, and we would have a little look at the golf shops, and that was just a normal Sunday for us. And it's only once I've been away and come back and you realise that I'm at one of the most special towns in the world with one of the most special golf courses in the world. I was actually there 2 weeks ago at the Dunhill. I was there last weekend on the Himalayas putting with my parents, and I am understanding how grateful I am to have been brought up in this part of the world. It's just magic. It's just magic. The course itself isn't that, in terms of a scorecard, isn't that varied. There is only 2 par 3s, the 8th and the 11th. The 8th is not the best hole. It's probably one of the weakest holes on the golf course. The front 9 as a whole is probably the lesser 9. There's quite a lot of par 4s, and there's only 2 par 5s. Once you get past the first tee and you're hit over the burn, you're on to the second. It's 2, 3, 4, similar sort of distances, lots of bunkers everywhere. They're actually quite the same. But as you go through the corner, go over the crisscross, round the loop, you then get onto the 11th tee, beautiful par 4. heading towards the Eden. And then once you get on that 12th tee and you look over the Eden estuary and you look around, and it just feels like there is this massive crescendo and feeling coming to you shot by shot as you hit back towards the town itself. 12, weird hole with massive bunkers right bang in the middle of the fairway at every point, so you find yourself aiming left deliberately, not into the fairway. 13th tee, you realise that there's the coffin bunkers and you're going on to the biggest green in the world. Then you're on to the 14th, which obviously has Hell Bunker, one of the biggest bunkers in the world. It's one most famous ones. Then you get on to 15. It's a good opportunity for birdie if you get that straight drive away. The same at 16. The train tracks used to be down the right, but it's now out of bounds. It's one of the tightest holes in the golf course and tightest fairways potentially in the world. It has to be this perfect fade. The pros were actually deliberately aiming way left into the rough. It feels unnatural. And then you aim on to 17, and it's the road hole, one of the most famous golf courses or golf holes in the world. And you hit over sheds, and then you hit into the road hole bunker, and then finally you're on the 18th tee, and you realise that you're at home, no matter where you're from. You're looking at the R&A clubhouse, you're looking at the town, and it's just magic. It's utter magic, and that is why St Andrews, mixing the fact that it's home for me, it's the home of golf, I would love to live there, it's got everything, and that is why St Andrews is my number one. To conclude, those are my top 5 golf courses, from the Windbushes at Royal Dornoch in the north, to the strategy and the wow factor of Royal Aberdeen, to the turtleback greens of Pinehurst, to the fast fairways of the south in Royal Melbourne, to home in St Andrews. All of these golf experiences and others all have given me unforgettable experiences and stories to add to my golfing career, my golfing life, but also my story of my own life. One of the biggest things that I've taken from playing these good golf courses and other ones is there's this feeling of not expectancy, but belief that I am allowed to be here, I am good enough. And I've been able to take that into other parts of my life. The first time I went into Royal Aberdeen, I was an excitable 18-year-old like, do I deserve this? This is incredible. And I think as golfers, we chase this feeling, this ecstasy of world class, the ecstasy of finding perfection. But as I said earlier, once you realise that it's all made up, and actually you do deserve to be here, you do deserve to be the best, you do deserve to have the best. Once that changed for me, it's made me feel more comfortable golfing at these places, but also belief in myself that, and one of the reasons I'm doing that is because I'm doing these videos. I've realised that I am good enough. I've got stories to share, and that's the reason why these affect me, the reason why I do golf, the reason why I enjoy golf, but the reason why I'm enjoying life much more. And I hope that you're getting benefit from these stories, these videos. I'm enjoying doing them now, and I can't wait to do the next one for you, and we will see you soon, maybe on a golf course. See you later. Bye.